Hello! Mabuhay! This is Teacher Lourdes, and this is your course, Research 2, Project Development. Our lesson 3 is Research Instruments and Data Collection. Our learning objectives are explain different data collection methods used in research. Choose appropriate research instruments based on the research problem and design. And justify the choice of data collection method and instrument in an academic manner. You are an industrial technology researcher. You are a BS Industrial Technology student conducting a study on the effectiveness of a newly designed portable workbench used by students during welding and carpentry laboratory classes. You can pause the video and answer the following questions. How will you know if the workbench is effective? Will you ask students, observe their performance, measure efficiency? What tool will you use to collect data? Can one research problem use more than one data collection method? Why is choosing the right instrument important in technical and vocational research? Now let's have the lesson proper. First, let's discuss what is data collection. Data collection is the systematic process of gathering information to answer research questions or test hypotheses. How you will collect your data is stated in the chapter 3 of your research. As BSIT students or BTVT Ed students, you are required to specifically indicate how you will gather data in your project development. So, what is the purpose of data collection? First, it helps in decision making. For example, in a research about a entrepreneur who wanted to know if the product he or she developed is good, he can gather the opinion of his or her friends or other people so that he or she can improve the product. Another is it saves time. Data collection can save you time. Uh, in research, uh, substantial amount of data can give you enough knowledge so that you can save time also in decision making or in your gathering data. So, and another is it can help you design strategies. For example, in uh, the entrepreneur who wanted to improve his or her product, upon the examination of the data he or she gathered, uh, they can design strategies to further improve the product and to increase the sales. Another is problem identification. So, when a researcher is gathering data, he or she can identify problems by using the survey questions. Next is to back up the arguments. In your research, especially in the discussion of your findings and the conclusion and recommendations, the data you gathered can be used to discuss and to back up your arguments. And the last one is to track your progress. Your data collected can give information on how you can further improve your product in the case of the entrepreneur or in case of the students. Your data gathered can give vital information on how you can track the progress and improve your product which you develop. So that's the purpose or the purposes of data collection. So we already discussed about quantitative and qualitative research. So in this table, here is indicated also the mixed type of data collection. When you say mix, it involves the combination of qualitative and quantitative data collection. So as a review, quantitative data collection involves numbers. It also involves measuring and counting, and more time is consumed for the planning as compared to the analysis phase. It is also an objective approach, and the data is collected from surveys. Usually, the surveys are following the Likert scale, which have a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 scale, which corresponds to um, uh, significantly agree or outstanding to the lowest, which one, for example, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, the 5 is equivalent to strongly agree or outstanding. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, the 4 is agree and 3 is neutral. And then 2 is disagree and 1 is strongly disagree. Or not outstanding or poor. So that's the typical Likert scale that is used for surveys. And then data is also collected from statistical experiments. In case of other researchers, in which include experiments like science or physics majors, and then content analysis. For example, the yield of the final product after extraction was 78%. So in this example, you can see that there is a numerical value equivalent to 78%. So let's now go to qualitative. As a review, qualitative is behavior based, and it involves interviews and observation, and less time is consumed for planning as compared to the analysis phase. And it uses a subjective approach. When you say subjective, there are personal opinions from the respondents. And data is collected from interviews, case studies, and ethnography. When you say ethnography, the researcher immersed himself into the culture or into the community that he is studying. For example, the final product after extraction was a white powder. So as you can see in the example, there is a description, white powder. So the mix is combination of qualitative and quantitative data collection methods. This type of research is uh, used when there is a need for intensive discussion and also needed numerical data. The planning and analysis phase takes time, and data is collected from both the methods. For example, the final product after extraction was observed to be a white powder, and the yield of this product was 78%. So, as you can see, there is a description, a white powder, and there is also a numerical value. Okay, that's how you differentiate the three data collection methods. So now let's discuss again quantitative data collection methods gather numerical, statistical, or measurable data, typically from large samples to enable analysis and generalization. Key methods include structured surveys or questionnaires with close-ended questions, experiments with controlled variables, structured observations using checklists, and secondary data analysis, which allows for precise, objective, and reliable research findings. Okay? So, quantitative data collection methods, on the other hand, involves semi-structured interview. And when you say semi-structured, you can be free in the answers and the questions. And next is in-depth interview. So when you say in-depth interview, it takes time, and because there is deeper questions involved, and the researcher can also uh, form questions as the interview goes along. And then next is focus group discussion. When you say focus group discussion, the researcher asks a group of people at the same time. So many people can answer one question. So that the researcher can analyze different answers to one question. And another one is observation. So when a researcher immerses himself or herself in a community, he uses observation to describe the lived experiences of the participants or the respondents of the study. And ethnography, the same with observation. It is the researcher is studying the ethnicity or the ethnic groups. Uh, the researcher immersed himself in the community and spent time with the participants. And the next is diary study. So in qualitative research, someone can study a diary of a famous person. For example, the diary of uh, prominent scientists like Albert Einstein and Nikola Tesla. And another one is case study. Uh, Case study is used for a group of people, and the researcher analyzed their problem. And the last one is qualitative survey. So survey is also used in quantitative data. This is from the presentation of Ma'am Sarah from Bulacan State University. Thank you, Ma'am Sarah. This is Ma'am Sarah. Okay. So here are the common data collection methods, which we will discuss more in the following slides. So the first one is the survey method. Second is interview. Third, observation. And fourth, document analysis. And the last, experimental or measurement-based methods. So first, let's discuss survey method. This uses questionnaires or rating scales, and it is best for collecting opinions, perceptions, satisfaction, and self assessment. Survey is common in product evaluation, training evaluation, and instructional research. So let's have this industrial technology example. Surveying students' satisfaction with the ergonomic design of a fabricated tool cabinet. Okay, so uh, this is related to project development of the research of the industrial technology students. Okay, another example is from BTBTED students surveying TVL students' perceptions of modular versus hands-on laboratory instruction. So, as I have said, survey uses minimum of 10 or more survey questionnaires with rating scales with equivalent description. As I have said before, it uses the common Likert scale using 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 with corresponding descriptions. Now let's go to interview method. Interview method uses structured or semi-structured questions. It allows deeper understanding of experiences and technical challenges. For example, I am also in my dissertation stage, my study about the uh, preservation of the science and technology related uh, knowledge of the Manida tribe in Barangay Osmeña in Jose Panganiban, Camarines Norte, where I live. So I use the interview method to gather data. And later I will analyze the data I gathered. And another example for BSIT, interviewing machine shop instructors about the common safety issues encountered by students. So this is a study uh, to know about the safety issues by encountered by the students. And another example for the BTBT Ed, interviewing DVL's teachers about difficulties in teaching competency-based skills assessment. Okay? And the next one is the observation method. So again, the researcher observes and records actual behavior or performance of the participants or the respondents of the research. This is very useful in skills-based and laboratory research. For example, in BSIT, observing students' accuracy and safety compliance while operating milling machines. For another example, observing how students perform electrical wiring tasks during practical examinations. Okay? And the number four is the document analysis. It uses existing records such as lesson plans, training manuals, checklists, or assessment results. So, when I did my scoping review, I analyzed several research about bamboo fiber. So, and I summarized my findings. Okay. And so for another example is analyzing students' performance records in welding certification test. Another example is reviewing TESDA training regulations and competency standards used in PBL classes. So document analysis can take time because you will analyze several documents, either research or lesson or diary, training manual, checklist, and other documents. So it's important to have an objective view when you are analyzing documents to avoid biases. And then the last one is experimental or measurement based methods. So this is usually used by scientists and mathematicians and other specialists because they use experiments to try methods or other practices or system or medicine to try its effectiveness. So experimental or measurement-based method uses tools or instruments to measure performance, efficiency, or the output. It is common in product development and innovation studies. Just like you, industrial technology students, you develop a new product. So another example is measuring cutting precision and time efficiency using a newly designed cutting jig. Another example is comparing skills mastery scores before and after using an industry-based teaching module. So now let's discuss the research instruments. A research instrument is the specific tool used to collect the data. So as we have mentioned before, in survey, you will use questionnaire with Likert scale, and interview, you will have the interview guide or the list of questions you will ask the participants. In observation, you will have the performance checklist or the rubrics. And for document analysis, you will use the document analysis matrix. And for experiment, you will use measuring devices or skill tests. So now let's discuss how you will choose the appropriate instruments. So when choosing a research instrument, students should consider the research objective. So what are the variables you are measuring? Next is the nature of data. Is your data quantitative or qualitative? Oh, do you need scores or measurements? Or do you need opinions or experiences? So these are the things to consider. Next is the respondents. Are your respondents the students, instructors, or industry practitioners? In the case of my dissertation, my respondents are the knowledge bearers of the Manida tribe, or the old people who know about their science and technology practices, or the indigenous practices of the Manida tribe. And validity and reliability, which is the accuracy and consistency of the instrument. And of course, the ethical considerations. For example, the safety, the consent of the participants, that they willingly participate in your research, confidentiality. For example, performance checklist is more appropriate than a uh, actual welding skills. So, in my research about the Manida tribe, I asked the permission of the National Commission of Indigenous People so that I can conduct the study. And I signed the memorandum of agreement so that the rights of the people are protected. Okay? So now let's discuss justifying the method and instrument choices. So in chapter 3 of your research, you will explain why you chose a particular method and instrument. So for example, uh, in your uh, in your industrial technology subject or course, the observation method using a performance checklist was employed to assess the students' machining skills because it allows direct measurement of accuracy, safety compliance, and task completion. So in your paper, you will uh, you will need to justify, you will have a discussion there in your paper why you use that certain research method and your research instrument. Another example is a survey questionnaire was utilized to gather students' perceptions of teaching strategies in PBL classes since it efficiently captures feedback from a large group of learners. So, in your case, where you are developing a project or a product, uh, you will develop a questionnaire to answer your specific objectives. So, the questionnaire involves the design, the development, and the evaluation of your developed project. So you will also put there a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, which corresponds to descriptive uh, analysis, or where the participants or the experts who will validate your uh, developed project will be quantified into 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you will analyze their answers in the discussion in the chapter 4. Okay? So now let's have your student activity. In a piece of paper, answer this question. If your study is about the effectiveness of a newly developed instructional module for electrical installation, what data collection method and instrument will you use and why? So this activity is good for 20 points. And also, you will answer the student worksheet about research instruments and data collection in our uh, meeting, okay, in the classroom. So that's our lesson. So these are my references. Thank you so much to my references, and also thank you to ChatGPT and to Zoom.com and to Canva.com. So, this is your teacher, Teacher Lourdes, saying buhay.